So for today's project, I've got to cut a tree limb down that's kind of overhanging the street a little bit. And so I just need to influence it a little bit to get it to fall in the ditch rather than onto the road. It's this tree right here, and it's got like 3 major limbs. And the one on the left here is mostly dead. I don't know if you can see some of the bark up there, but there's just a couple little branches that are still alive. So I want to get rid of that. This time of the year is the best to trim so you don't invite bugs to get in the tree and such. So this branch is, even though it's leaning left to the side, it also is leaning over the road, and I don't want it to fall on the road if I can help it, because if cars come by or whatever. So I'm going to be watching both ways up and down the street before I cut it and make sure nobody's coming. I also have put a cone up there to warn anybody coming by in case a few of the branches are kind of sticking out. But I want to drop this pretty much right towards this cedar tree. I don't believe the power lines will be in play at all because of the lean of this this limb. If there was any chance that I thought it could possibly touch the power lines, I wouldn't even be attempting it. But I'm pretty sure I can drop it right towards the cone there. So let's get started. What I'm going to want to do first is cut a notch in this limb. I want to cut it like right in here, and so that the notch is facing where I want the tree to drop over there. And I can do that using my saw. I can figure out what that should be, because the saw has a perpendicular line here to the blade, and if I point that perpendicular line towards where I want this tree to fall, that way I'll make the notch in the right place. So let's give it a try. Okay, so now I got my notch in the tree. And when you cut a notch like this, you don't want the notch to go any farther in than where the 2 angles touch, because then the tree, as it falls, will jump. But this way the tree limb won't jump until this face hits this face, which is long after I'm out of the way. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it down this way until I have the hinge I want, and then I'm going to slow down, take a look, make sure my hinge is good, and then slowly cut away at that hinge until the tree starts to fall the way I want it to go. If I have to err on which side the hinge should be thicker, it should be this upward side, so that it just doesn't break off and the tree fall onto the street. When you're cutting a tree with a heavy lean like this, or a limb, you've always got the chance of it barber chairing. But I'm not really worried about that in this case, because this is, I believe, Chinese elm, and so the grain of it does not easily split, and I do have a clear path out of here as quick as I can get, so that's always important too. So let's give it a try and see how it goes. Well, I'm going to call that a success. I got it pretty much off the road, just on the shoulder a little bit. One branch I got to clear before a car comes. We'll go show you the notch and do the analysis after the fact here. Well, looks like it went pretty well. I meant to keep the notch about this wide on this end, not the other way around, but it still worked out okay. And as you can see, as I came down, the hinge became weaker, and slowly instead of the tree falling this way, the gap got bigger on this end. The weight made it fall, and it's pretty much fell the way I wanted it to. Now I just need to cut this up and trim this. This is going to be a big wound on this tree. It's not a trophy tree by any means, so I'm not worried about that. But what I'll do is I'll cut this like this, and that gives it the best chance of healing up rather than leaving it like this. So now, as long as the rest of the tree stays healthy, I'll be all right. We'll see you next time around. Be safe. Bye now.